Hi guys, Sue here from the Painted Turtle. I posted some workshops last night and they are kind of blowing up on Facebook. It seems everybody loves gnomes. So I thought I would share with you how we are making our Gnordic Gnome. He is adorable. I'm just about to make his bride, but I will show you him. He is so cute. He is just so adorable. So it's very, very simple to make, and I just thought I would show you the basic parts on how to make. Sorry, I just noticed a crack in his hat here, so I needed to fix it. I just thought I'd show you how easy he is to make. Basically, the body is a pinch pot, so you all know how to make a pinch pot, I hope. If not, talk to Bree or go to Dirt to Dollars, because pinch pots are the bomb. So yeah, so I'm making his bride, so she needs braids. So I've made a couple of strands, and now I'm going to make one more just to show you how I did it. Started with a piece of clay, made it into a sausage, and I'm just going to kind of like roll it out until it becomes a nice long snake. And I've made 3 of these, or I'm making 3 of these for a braid for her hair. And then, so there's my 3rd coil. And I've got little bits and pieces here and there for her feet and for her nose. But this piece here is just a little slab that I kind of rolled. And I do have a slab roller, but for these projects, I don't use my slab roller. I use my hands, and then I also use this cute wooden easily dowel from the dollar store. I think you get like 10 in a pack. I think it's about a 1/2 inch. I'm not sure. A little bit smaller than your finger, I guess. So I've rolled it out, and then I'm just going to take my card and smooth. And then I really like an organic edge because they're gnomes and they should be organic. So I haven't really fixed this or made it a perfect circle or anything. And basically all I'm going to do is cut a really large pie shape. And because I use such high-tech tools, I'm using a toothpick. And I'm just cutting kind of an edge off, and then another edge off. So we have this kind of shape just like that. So it is kind of triangular on the top and then roughly sort of circular on the bottom. Okay, so that's going to be her hat when I'm ready for that. But we're going to start with her body and build onto that first. So she needs hair, and so I'm just taking my 3 coils. I have 3 coils, you see, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to braid them. But before I braid them, I just need to cut off the ends of 2 to make them all the same length or similar length. And then I'm going to take my card, cut them in half. Ooh, so I can have 2 braids, one for either side of her head. And I'm going to just squeeze up at the top the 3 coils together so that that's going to be under her hat. You're not even going to see it. So, and then I'm just going to separate and braid a nice sort of loose braid. If you don't know how to make a braid, what can I tell you? Princess Hairstyles has awesome tutorials on braiding. There's tons of them on YouTube. But yeah, so there is her braid, her one braid. Okay, so I've made a braid. Actually, I like this side better, so that's the side I'm going to have sticking out. And then I'm going to do my 2nd braid, again squishing the top together, and then just braiding away. Let's see here. Go over. Yeah, so it's really fun and easy. It's an easy workshop. I'm doing a set of 2 gnomes for $30, and I posted it last night, and honestly it was like midnight, and I had ticket sales already at, I believe it was like 12:05 or something like that. As soon as I posted it, somebody bought 4 seats to it already. So, and there's my 2nd braid of hair. Okay, Now I won't use all of that because that's really long compared to her little itty bitty body, but it's good to have a little bit extra to cut off if you need to. Okay, and then next I'm going to make her nose. I want her to have a bit of a bigger nose because she's not going to have a beard, so I want her to have a more robust nose. So I'm just taking a chunk of clay, probably about the size of a grape, and rolling it into a little ball, and I'm going to just pinch the top a little bit into a sort of point and then down so you can kind of see it. It's just more of a droopy nose, like a teardrop. Okay, and then that's going to be her nice nose. And what I like to do is take the back and flatten it so that it goes right against her hinge pot body. And then she needs shoes, so I'm taking 2 chunks of clay again, rolling them into a little ball and flattening the bottom for her foot, rolling it into a little ball, flattening it for her foot. Okay, so then because what I want to do at the back of her feet, I'm just going to push down a little bit so you can see it's kind of like slipper shaped, if you will. And then I'm going to scratch, and then I'm going to scratch where her feet are going to go, right there. And what I want to do is I actually want to make a little sort of indentation where her feet are going to go. Sorry, that's really loud here because right down the street is a custom motorcycle shop, and I'm at my new studio, and it's very loud. There's a lot of motorcycles. Yeah, so I'm just sticking her little feet on, and I'm just going to give her a tap down so that her feet are stuck to her body. Okay, then I'm going to take her hair, and I think I want to give her a little, around the bottom of her braid, an elastic, if you will. So I'm just going to take a piece of coil that I cut off extra, and I'm going to literally just wrap it around and cut off the excess. So technical in my terms and stuff, eh? So there's her little elastic holding her braid in. Okay, so that's just, and then I'm going to figure out where it should be. It should be about, I'm going to do it backwards for you if I can. So just off to the side, that's where her little braid is going to go. And yes, I have lots extra, but I'm just going to take my card and give it a cut. Okay, that's her one braid. And then her other braid, I'm going to take a little piece of clay, some water, wrap it around, make her a little twisty hair tie, and put her other braid there. Guess where it's going to be. Chop off. Now, the one thing I do want to point out before you put the hat on, take a toothpick and poke a hole. That sounds so mean, but poke a hole in the top of her head. That's going to allow the air that's inside the hat to escape without blow-ups. So I'm just going to wet, and I'm just using water for slip. So I'm just wetting it and putting it on the back of her braid and putting her braid down. I'm going to have her braid trail, I think, a little bit because I think that's cute. She has super long hair. And same for this one. Some water. Touching it again. And then her nose. Scratching the back, the flat part there. Just scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch where her nose is going to go, which is going to be right there. Add some water. Slip it on. Give her a good push on there because the hat's going to be resting on top of it. So, yeah. And then I want to give her a little mouth. So the best way I have found to make a mouth is just a simple marker, and I use the lid, and I just kind of put the corner of it into her face. Probably should have done that before I did the nose, but I'll just give it a little push. And then she has a little tiny mouth. Okay, so that is all I'm doing for her mouth. And her braids are there, and now I just have to make her hat. So for her hat, I've got my shape. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it up. Okay, so just rolling it till you get a hat size that is appropriate for her head. So just, sorry, not the best angles, but I'm just rolling it up. And then I see I've got excess clay, so I'm just going to take my toothpick, cut it off. Okay, then I'm going to scratch the ends of those, beat them up a bit, scratch the end of that. Okay, some water. And then, ooh, I love water. Some people put a bit of vinegar in their water to make it stickier. You can if you want. I live by the there's no one way to skin a cat rule, so I don't know why you'd want to skin a cat anyway. So now that I have my my little cone here, sorry, I thought I was on camera. I'm just going to pinch these together and bring that over. My fingers are up inside so that I can put some pressure on there, smoosh it in to each other. Okay, and then just taking my fingers and smoothing it out to try and get any crease gone. You can also take your card and give it a little smooth if you'd like. It's another thing I like to do. Smooth it out. And now she's ready to receive her hat. So we're going to put her back over here. Okay. And I do see a piece here that I'm not overly fond of, this little extra. So I'm just going to pop it down a little bit, cut it off, and smooth it with my fingers, just dip in the water and smooth that edge. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to pinch this up a little bit, flaring it just so that it comes out. So you can kind of see it looks like a bugle. I love bugles. They're such great snacks. Anyway, so I'm just going to scratch inside a bit where it will attach to her head. Scratching and adding some water just so that it has a bit of a slippy consistency. Okay, and then I want that seam kind of there. I want that over her nose. Yeah. So I'm just going to manipulate her hat into place. And I'm going to just curve it. And then you can play with it, tipping up the brim of her hat and smoothing it with your fingers. And then you can add anything like flowers or little buttons or anything like that. You can add to her as well, or him, whichever one you're making. And that is my little Nordic gnome, sort of dude and dudette. She definitely needs some flowers. I just definitely need some flowers for her. And you can make her hat a little more curvy than his if you want. I didn't give him too much of a curve, but I think I like the idea of making hers a little more curvy. And there is my gnome, my girl gnome. So there's the boy gnome and the girl gnome. Sorry, let me grab him better. Boy gnome, girl gnome. Mr. and Mrs. Okay, it's a great workshop. I probably used about 2 pounds of clay, maybe, and I am charging $30. So go make some money. Okay, thanks. Bye.